Hello everybody, this is Jacob Nolly with the Graphite Lab. In today's video, I'm going to show you some ways of using large language models similar to ChatGPT that maybe don't seem super obvious. We've all heard of ChatGPT. ChatGPT and other large language models similar to like BARD they're basically been trained on all sorts of information that is text across the internet. So they're very robust. So for instance, if I come in here and I go, how do I go fishing? It's going to be able to very quickly come up with a very robust answer. And so people have been using this for all sorts of stuff like writing review responses and writing emails and filling out blogs. So very obvious things where basically you provide it with some kind of an input and a prompt and it responds. But one of the things it can't do is respond with information about your particular company. So like let's say you're running a large business and you want it to be able to understand how your like your business's policies and SOPs. So I'd be like, how should employees at the Graphite Lab respond to customer complaints? And so it's giving some general information about how to deal with customer complaints, but it doesn't actually know our policies. So what is the Graphite Labs policy on time off? As an AI language model, it doesn't know. So it doesn't know anything about our policies. So um, and it doesn't even really know who the Graphite Lab is. And so in order to do this, what we basically can do is do a thing called embedding. So there's a concept with large language models called embeddings, and basically what an embedding is like a GPS coordinate about a specific type of text. So what you can do is basically take all of your organizational documents and create an embeddings map of them, which what it does is it basically assigns GPS coordinates to the entirety of whatever documents you pass it in. And then when somebody asks a question, what it does is it takes that query, gives it a GPS coordinate, and finds the most similar section of those documents. And it takes those documents and feeds it in with the request to ChatGPT. And so what you're basically doing is instead of providing like 20 pages of context to a response, what you're doing is you are identifying inside of that set of documents which piece of it is relevant and passing that in with the question. One thing that we've done with it is we actually trained it on all of Service Titan's knowledge base. And so what we've basically done here, so we've trained it on all of Service Titan's knowledge base. And what we've done is basically so we've trained it on all of Service Titan's knowledge base. And what we've done is we basically hosted that indexing and of embeddings and everything on a server, and we have synced it up to Gmail. So what it allows us to do is have an email be the responder to those questions. And so I'll provide an example of that here. Okay, so as you can see here, I have Service Titan support at the Graphite Lab up, and I'm like, help, how do I add a technician? So it's just a super basic question. And the idea here is that instead of you having to go and go through all sorts of like hoops in terms of like searching through a knowledge base or something like that, just to get your simple question asked, you can do it via email. All right, so now you can see we've gotten a response back from the support agent, and it's given us exact instructions on where to go in the application and how to add a technician. And also giving basically we've coded in like a specific response so that whoever's reading it knows, hey, this is coming from an AI. Think about that when you're actually like interacting with it. And so why is this so powerful? So this is really cool for Service Titan, right? Because it allows simple queries to be asked very quickly. But where this is even cooler also is for an individual organization. Let's say you have a ton of SOPs you developed and you want your team to be able to quickly ask questions about organizational policies and organizational like systems and processes. All you have to do is train this bot on your organizational policies, and it anyone in your organization, as long as you set it up on a server, could send email questions to it, um, and have it respond with answers specific to your organization, which can save a ton of time in basically just people asking questions in your organization. So that's kind of the power of LLMs here, is you can have it know what your policies are and then answer questions for your team, which can really save a lot of administrative time.